Yo, 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 what up? I figured I'd give you a little different flavor of the night. Okay, so tonight's lesson is on 6.4. We had 6.4 already, but this is a different part where you have to decide in word problems whether or not you are given the part or given the whole. So sometimes you're going to be finding the percent of a number like we did with the last flip lesson. Sometimes you're going to be finding the actual whole number when you're given the part. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through 4 problems together, and then you're going to do 4 problems on your own. So here we have, it says, in order to select new board members, the French club held an election. 40% of the 75 members of the club voted. How many members voted? So again, like Miss Boston said, the percent's going to be given to you. So that's the easiest thing to pick out of the problem. We're going to go ahead and write that down here. The percent is 40. That's what it tells us. It's our job to decide whether or not that 75 members is the part or the whole. So it says 40% of the 75 members of the club voted. How many members voted? So that is a clue to us that the 75 members is the total number of students that were in the club. So 75 is the whole. And our part is unknown. So we're just going to put a question mark there. Just like the last flip lesson, we're going to be creating equivalent ratios here. So this is going to be the part over the whole, and that will always equal the percent over 100. So we have identified what the percent is. It's 40. We have identified that the whole is 75, and we are missing the part. So we're going to go ahead and write down here also 75 total, because that's going to always be the whole part, or the whole piece, I should say. So we're going to solve this by cross multiplying. Lovely handy dandy calculator. Again, if you don't have a graphing calculator, a TI-83, TI-84 at home, you can always use just a basic calculator. I'm going to multiply 75 times 40, get my answer, and then I'm going to divide that by 100. So 3,000 divided by 100 gets me a total of 30 members, and that is our part. That means that 30 members out of our 75 total voted. Moving on to question number 2, it says there were 16 managers at the monthly Ravens meeting. So 16 managers at the monthly Ravens meeting, which is 10%. How many staff members work for the Ravens? So the question wants to know how many staff members. So this is going to be our whole. Whenever we see the word kind of where it says which is, or it has them in one sentence, it has the two things related to one sentence. Those are both going to go on top. So percent is easily identifiable. Percent is 10. 16 is the part, because it says 16 managers, which is 10%. So that's the part. And our whole, we don't know. So just like before, our part goes on top. Our whole is unknown. Our percent goes on top. And 100 always goes in the bottom right. We're going to solve this just like we did last time by cross multiplying. So 16 times 100 equals 1,600 divided by 100%. What did I do wrong, Miss Boston?
You did divide by 10.
Oh, oops. Yep, you're right. 16 times 100, because that's the diagonal. And then I'm dividing by 10. That makes a whole lot better sense. And that would be 160. So 160 total would be my answer. Do you want to do those two? You want me to do them?
You can do it.
Okay. All right, next question. It says, at the last holiday gathering, 8 soda bottles or 25%. So remember, 8 soda bottles or 25%. So they are related to each other in this problem. The question says, how many diet sodas were there? Percent, easy to pick out. And again, since the 8 soda bottles and the 25% are related to each other, the 8 is going to be the part and the whole is unknown. To solve, we're going to set it up just like we did before. So 8 diet over, we don't know the total, 25% over 100. Solve by cross multiplying 8 times 100. And divide that by 25 in my calculator. 8 times 100 divided that by 25 equals 32. So this would be 32 total soda bottles. Must have been a heck of a party. That's a lot of soda. All right, last question. In 6th grade, there are 400 students. Well, that tells you something. There are 400 students. 15% of the students play an instrument. And the question is, how many students play an instrument? So that 15% needs to go on the 15 spot. The part, we don't know. That's the missing information. The whole, it says there are 400 students, so that's the whole. When I set up my ratio, we have part, which is unknown, over whole, equals percent, which is 15, over 100. We're going to cross multiply and divide. 400 times 15 divided by 100, right in my calculator. 400 times 15 divided by 100, and that gets me 60. So that means that 60 students would play an instrument. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the question isn't asking me for a percent. It's saying how many students, how many diet sodas, how many staff members, how many members voted. Your answers are not percents. Your answers are whole numbers. I see that mistake being made a lot. So what you're going to do now is your homework tonight is to finish these 4 problems, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the back. You have to identify what the part is or the whole, depending on what's missing, and then go ahead and solve. Have a good night.